Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Chris, and I have a very special guest with me here today. This is Megan Letton, a registered dietitian. She writes a lot of amazing articles, and we're going to touch base on one of her articles that's coming out fairly soon. It should be out by the time this video gets out. It will be out by the time this video gets out, if I know what's good for me. It's called My Diet Starts Tomorrow. Megan, I just want you to just discuss a little bit about the article and why you wrote it, so to speak, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. I find a lot of people who they're constantly planning their next diet, going on the next diet, failing on the next diet, and then repeating the cycle. They're making themselves crazy. They're like, I'm constantly dieting, but I'm not losing weight. They're always planning for their next diet. They're always dreading the next diet. They're eating whatever they want because, well, my diet starts tomorrow. What they don't realize is a diet isn't sustainable. Really, you want something that's going to sustain you where you don't feel that sense of doom. You don't need to binge the day before because, you know, the next day you're not going to have anything you want.
Oh, I totally agree. I see it all the time, all the time. Why are some of the reasons that diets do not work for people?
Diets don't work because of basic human physiology and psychology. Humans want what they can't have, whether that's money, a person, anything. If you go so long without money and you receive a lump sum, you typically are going to want to go buy at least something expensive, right? So if you go for a long time on a low-calorie diet, your body not only is going to crave, but your mind is going to crave those calories, that food, that taste that you haven't had in so long.
And you see, and especially in my field, because my field's totally different than yours, of course. Yours is way more of a medical field than mine is. But you see a lot of coaches, they come out with these very generic meal plans for their clients. They just give them the same meal plan, everybody gets the same meal plan, and they expect to see results off of these meal plans. Can you touch base on your thoughts about that?
Yeah, food is fuel. And we're all different machines. We all need different fuel. So we all need different amount of calories. We all need different amount of carbs, everything. And then also in addition to our our human biology, our own personal genetics, we also do different exercises. I like to run. You more so lift. So I'm going to need more carbs. He's going to need more protein. So when you go on a generic plan, it's not going to be tailored to you at all. It's not going to have the amount of calories you need. It's not going to have the amount of nutrients, carbs, this, that ratio that you need. So really you need to go work with someone like Chris who will personalize it to you and find out how many calories you need a day, how many you need to cut in order to make that weight loss. And
usually these generic meal plans are very, very strict for the person. Can you talk a little bit about what that induces as far as binge eating and things like that?
Yeah, so these generic diets, they're going to list specific foods. They don't know what you like. You know, we all like different things. We all have specific tastes. No one likes all the same things. So when you go on a generic meal plan, you're not getting really what you're craving, what your body's craving. So when you come off of it, you're going to eat what you're craving and what your body's craving. And in the long run, it's just a roller coaster. It's up and down. The scale's going to go up and down, and your mind, everything that your cravings, it's just not sustainable.
In the article, you speak about this. You speak about nutrition stability. Can you discuss in a little more detail about nutrition stability and why it's important?
To me, nutrition stability is not constantly thinking about food. You shouldn't have food on your mind all the time. Your appetite needs to be controlled so that you can be healthy. Food shouldn't rule your life. Losing weight shouldn't rule your life. Nutrition stability to me is like sleeping stability. You go to sleep, you wake up. It's natural, it's easy. So nutrition stability is knowing what your body likes and eating the healthiest version of that. So if you're craving pizza, you're going to eat the healthiest pizza you can so that your mind's happy and your body's happy. And you're never constantly craving things and depriving yourself.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with that. Now, a lot of people don't even know what a metabolism is, let alone why it's important. And I try as best as I can to relate this to my clients as far as why their metabolism is important and how somebody with the same body structure can have a totally different metabolism. Can you go in a little bit more detail about that and talk about it from your aspect, why that's so important?
Right. So we all know he burns more calories than me. He's a man. He's very muscular. But a girl my same size sitting next to me, we could have a different BMR, basal metabolic rate, of about 600 calories. It could differ. Based on genetics, I could have more muscle tone. It all comes down to really genetics at the end of the day. So you have to tailor your diet plan to your specific calorie needs, and you kind of find those out over time. You can, you know, if you're eating 1,500 calories a day, around there, and you're not gaining weight, that's probably about where your resting rate is. But if you're increasing your exercise, you're going to need more calories. If you have more muscle mass, you're going to need more calories. So you can't just go on a generic diet. Oh, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories a day. Well, you don't know how much you need, really.
Yeah. And the elephant in the room of dieting is this. I don't know how many people that I run into that talk about no-carb diets and how they're on this no-carb diet. Can you speak a little bit about that from your aspect, and what are the benefits and what are the negatives to that?
Low-carb diets. Well, so I'm a runner. I need carbs in a good amount. I would go crazy without carbs. But everyone needs carbs. Our central nervous system fuels only on carbohydrates. Our brain, that's its fuel, carbohydrates. So if you're feeling a little sluggish, you're probably not eating enough carbs. Sounds crazy, right? But you need good wholesome sources of carbs with fiber. But also, if you're feeling a huge burn and it's uncomfortable when you're working out, you probably don't have any glycogen stored in your muscles to burn while you're working out because you're not eating enough carbs. You need them. Your brain can fuel off ketones, which is when your body's burning fat for a fuel source, but that's not sustainable. Dr. Atkins died of kidney disease. Why? Because he constantly was burning ketones and they killed his kidneys. You need carbohydrates.
And client longevity is one of the things that I really try to drive home with all of my clients. I'm not a crash dieter. When I have clients, I don't crash diet anybody unless it's like it's a necessary must. And I try to explain to them before we even start that this can be very harmful for your diet. And I feel that a lot of coaches do not go into detail about what's going on with the person's diet and what's going on with their metabolism and why the things are working. So when the person comes off of the diet or they get away from that individual as a coach, they tend to gain a lot of weight back. Can you go into a little bit of detail of why that is important to actually understand your diet, one, and why a lot of people gain the weight back?
Yeah. This is why what he does is so important, because he switches up the amount of calories and the macros you need at your progression throughout your weight loss. Because if you are on a certain amount of calories, so say you're restricting yourself 600 calories less than your body needs, so you're burning that amount every day. Eventually, your body's going to learn just to keep itself sustained without those 600 calories. So you lower your BMR. Your BMR, say, it used to be 2,000. Now it's going to be 1,400. So you're really hurting your metabolism in the long run by staying on a very low calorie diet. You need to switch it up. You need to fuel your body with what it needs. But really, that's why working out is so good, because you're not only feeding your body what you need, but then you're burning those calories. Mm-hmm. So the huge calorie deficit is what really kills your metabolism and kind of makes your body even crave those binges, crash dieting. If you don't have fuel in your car, you're probably gonna break down eventually.
One of the best questions that I have here is, how do you recommend personally to fix this problem of my diet starts tomorrow?
I think personally it comes down to getting control of your appetite. That's number one. That controls what you eat. So we don't eat for our bodies. We should, but we don't. We eat for our minds, our appetites. So I recommend, if your appetite's out of control, start appetite journaling. What you're craving, when. You'll start noticing patterns. So then, if you address those, don't deprive yourself, but say you're craving very sweet things at 9 o'clock at night. How about we eat some yogurt and some fruit instead of chocolate or ice cream? So feed your body, because if you're craving something sweet, your body's craving sugar. If you're craving something salty, you could be dehydrated, because we do crave salt when we're dehydrated, but you really want to make sure you're drinking enough water, eating vegetables, fruits, eating foods that control your appetite, but also eating a little bit of what you actually want too. Mm-hmm. So that is how you get nutrition stability. Your mind's happy and your body's happy. We have to put these two components together.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Well, I want to first thank you for taking the time to actually talk to us. And
Thanks for having me.
look forward to seeing the article and reading the article. It's a very good article. I can't say enough positive things about your writing. But also, if you have any other questions for Megan here, her email will be at the bottom of the article, and if you'd like to share some of your information with them, that's totally fine.
Yeah, definitely email me, meganlatin27@gmail.com. Any questions you have, ideas for next articles, we'll post videos. Yeah. Any questions? Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you later.